and I started seeing the curriculum for myself and seeing all these genders based on feelings and all these sexualities, ones that I had never heard of, like pansexuality, abrosexuality, multisexuality. I'm like, boy, that's way beyond even gay, lesbian, bi. Like, I'd never heard of all these sexualities. And I asked the ACLU, because I started to put the brakes on this implementation as a board member, saying, I don't think the parents know really what this new sex ed is and what it entails. And when I started putting on the brakes on with the superintendent, then the ACLU came out to our school district, one of the lawyers, and said that basically threatened us with a lawsuit and said that they quoted saying 89% of the parents in the state of California approve of this curriculum.
How do they know that? Did they do a polling?
Well, that's what I asked. And they quoted a survey and a study from UC Berkeley, so that was done in 2007. So I went to UC Berkeley and I contacted the professor, who is Dr. Norman Constantine, and I asked him if I could see his study and his survey. And when I looked at the survey, there was not one question about gender identity. There was not one question about anal sex.
So ACLU lied?
Absolutely. They misrepresented parents. And the ACLU is who lobbied to the legislators to pass AB 329, the California Healthy Youth Act. So this whole law that they passed back in 2015 is built on a foundation of lies and misrepresentation.
But even if they did this polling in UC Berkeley, it doesn't represent all the parents from California, right? It's a very liberal university. You shouldn't do surveys in a very red or very blue counties or places.
Right. Well, they tried to make it, it's been a while since I've read the survey, but of course, to make it valid and reliable, they have to pick a large sampling and make it random and dispersed. So they go into detail on how they had a large sampling, and I wouldn't say it was, it was a relevant survey, but it did not measure what they were trying to promote.
I got you. So once you noticed this in the curriculum, you contacted and you were trying to stop it. ACLU said, don't do it, we're going to sue you. What happened next?
Well, then I just said, well, I need to communicate and inform my community, because I can't do this on my own. It's got to come from the bottom up. So I started speaking in churches. I started speaking in parent groups. I started showing them. The other thing I did is I started looking at a lot of the resources that the California Department of Ed was recommending to kids, and without parents really seeing it ahead of time, because it's harder for parents if it's not like hard copies. It's not a textbook. It's a lot harder for parents to understand or know what kind of links are being given through these curriculums, right? So